friends. Welcome to part 3 of the HB90 system in brief. I am your guide, Jess Jalevka, and I want to thank you for coming back to video 3. I do apologize for the last video cutting off so abruptly. I did not realize that I had reached the limit that Screen-O-Matic has in place, so it cut off, and because I have the free version I don't have any editing tools, but we will briefly recap where what we covered last video and then get into the nitty-gritty of the daily and end out our planner in brief system. Now, as a reminder, I am not the creator of this planner. This is created by Sarra and you can find her system on Etsy. Okay, let's get started. So last time we talked about creating goals, 1, 2, and 3. Not necessary to have all 3, you might just have 1, but 3 works for me. And once you identify what your overarching goals are and you have some kind of measurable portion to it, you then identify which projects comprised of multiple steps, which projects support your goals. After deciding on those projects, you then get into the nitty-gritty of deciding which tasks need to be completed in order to reach that goal. Now here you are always making time estimates. How many task blocks, that is 30-minute increments, will it take you to complete whatever goal you have? And if you need to revise that number, please make sure that you do. So after you have identified what tasks are needed in order to finish out your goal for the quarter, or each task needed to finish out your projects, which will complete out your goal for the quarter, you can then put them onto individual sticky notes on your Kanban board if you so choose, which starts with a to-do and then moves to a doing and finally to done. Now, those individual tasks are what get put into your task list of the HB90 system. Notice how I am color-coded here, but this is from a previous quarter, so my color codes are a little bit different. My tasks also do not match up quite the same because, again, this is for quarter 2, not for quarter 3, which you have been previewing up until this point. You identify each week the tasks that you can reasonably take on. You might use this as a brainstorming page for all the different things that you would like to do that would support whatever project you are working on to get you closer to your goal. But the most critical part comes in here. You need to determine how many task blocks you have available for your week. So if we go back to this page right here, this tells you how many task blocks you have available for whatever current week you are looking at. The same goes for your quarterly overview system if you are able to use the full quarter breakdown. When you have that number, which I personally tend to determine week by week as opposed to relying on a set scheduled thing because my schedule is super variable right now, I then start putting in my most to least important tasks right here on my project and task page. I then estimate exactly how much time that particular task or project will take to complete and put that there in the estimated task column. I will highlight in advance the number of blocks I expect to use according to my color code system. And as the week goes on, I will fill out the number of task blocks I actually use. So in this case, the HB90 course took me 22 task blocks where I had only originally planned for 20. Deciding on my work in progress, 2, when I had estimated 4. So later today I will go in and put in a 2 here and highlight this to mark it off my list. I highlight each of these on the left-hand side as I actually finish the task, and I have the actual number available here. Now, this is what the daily looks like. There are weekly pages that you can use in this planner, but I do not have a picture of them because I have a different weekly planner that I keep everything in. I invested in it before the HB90 system. I don't want to let it go to waste, but I will most likely not purchase it again because I find that my Google Calendar and this system here really helps me take care of almost all of my needs. So this is a completed page from Tuesday. At the very top you see the date and then 3 lines, which I personally use for my top 3 priorities for the day. Now here there's no real rhyme or reason towards the coloring I use. I just use whatever highlighter or mild liner, as the case may be, that I happen to have on hand at the moment. On the left hand side you will see a schedule where I typically put down the things that I need to get done during the day, and I will come back sometimes and fill in other activities like going to the pool that I had not originally planned on. As I go, I will usually write down what I expect to spend on each task in terms of task blocks. Sometimes it comes from this page here. Sometimes, like tomorrow's planning, which is not on my weekly list, I just give it an estimate. And then at the bottom, I tend to divide this up into 3 columns. 3 columns. This one right here on the left is pre-printed. You can see the full box. And then there are the 2 boxes over here, which is originally 1 box and I divided it in half. So over here on the left, I write down whatever major goals or tasks or projects that are moving me towards my major goals on the left-hand side. And I mark down exactly how many task blocks I used. And at the end of the day, I will go back and add them here onto this task blocks used page. Then I will typically use this middle box for tasks that relate to my work in progress. And then finally, this last column over here on the far right will be some brainstorming or here I have tutoring, money calculations, and tasks that I was attempting to do but did not do. Sometimes it's a quote or inspiration. Sometimes it's just a sticker, as you can see. I did not include it on some of my other pages, which you can see from my previous post about all of this. So it doesn't need to be colorful or pretty, it just happens to be something that makes me happy. I don't go all out. I typically use some kind of marker that matches the color of my washi tape at the bottom, and then I have a deluge of stickers from Sticky Club that I will include some stickers onto. So this is the link to the course that goes along with the HB90 system. It is offered once every quarter and goes into this process in way more detail than I did. I mean, we're talking about 10 hours or more worth of videos. I just finished it. It was amazing. And it is not just for authors. It is anybody who wants to get into this productivity system. Check out Heart Breathings on YouTube for more amazing content from Sarah Cannon. And I also want to note that when you take this course, you get lifetime access to it. So not only do you get help during the quarter in which you are planning. So for instance, if you're really intrigued by this and you decide to take the course, it will open up again in September to prepare for quarter 4 of the year. You will get all kinds of great support, private Facebook group, etc. And then you will join an alumni group, have access to this course all the time. You can watch it whenever you want to, and go through the system again and again and again each quarter. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. This is not the most intuitive system to pick up at first, but you will quickly realize that it makes a lot of sense, and your feelings of overwhelm are going to be drastically decreased as you start to actually give yourself the appropriate amount of projects for your goals and tasks for your projects based on the time you actually have available. It is worth noting that I am not part of Sarah's marketing team. I do not get any kickbacks from this. I do not, as far as I know, she doesn't even know that I'm doing this. So I get no benefit out of this except that I'm showing y'all something really cool that has made a difference for me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I would be happy to help you out if you decide to purchase her planner and you want some more guidance on setting things up. I would be happy to talk to you. I am not sharing her planner personally in the sense of like my copy of it to you because this is work that she has done and I want to make sure that she is properly paid for it. So go to her Etsy shop for Heart Breathings and you will find a copy of her planner that you can do either by the year or by the quarter. Thanks guys, I appreciate you coming out on this journey with me and I hope that you find this as helpful as I do.